Hello and welcome to TheAIbumMan. I just adjust my camera here a bit. And today we are doing my fourth, I think, Q&A. I have no idea how many parts this is going to be. There's less questions than last time. Sad face. But, yeah, which is a bit odd because, again, it's a lot more subscribers since I last did it in, like, June. But, there you go. Probably Google+. Always blame Google+. But, yeah, still a lot of questions to go for. Oh, quite a few, you know. So let's go through them in this order. I don't know, because of, Google's crap, it isn't in order of nearly listed as it usually is. It's order of whatever Google decides to rank it in. So, it's, don't, think, oh, if I missed out your question, if you're one of the first people to ask it. No, it goes in a weird order. And this question I just decided to pick first. Let's just get it over and done with. Emaniki Corleone asked, what is your favourite brand of toothbrush? Really? My favourite brand of toothbrush. Tesco. I just go for Tesco's own. I don't have a favourite brand. Just Tesco's own cheap, cheerful toothbrushes. What type of weird question is that? Oh my god. Okay. So on to the proper questions. We have Robbie Walker. And he has quite a few questions. So let's start with the first one. What do you think of George Harrison's solo career? Well, I've never really listened to too much of George Harrison's solo stuff. In fact, I don't really know any, quite honestly. His post-Beatles stuff, the only post-Beatles stuff I'm familiar when it comes to George Harrison is, of course, the Travelling Wilburys, who are great. I mean, George Harrison, Bob Dylan, Jeff Lynne, and then Roy Orbison. I'm not a big fan of Roy Orbison, but I mean, God, Jeff Lynne, Dylan, and George Harrison, that is just, that is pretty amazing. And yeah, they're a really good band, really great songs, and of course very well produced. It's bloody Jeff Lynne who produces them and also sings with them, etc. But yeah, I should check out George Harrison's solo career, though songwriting wise he was probably always my least favourite of the Beatles, I have to say. But yeah, I should check it out. What is your most prized vinyl? Well, I'd have to say, get it out here, I'd have to say it'd probably be this. Bob Dylan's Bring It All Back Home, which is the original UK release, and it's the first pressing in good old-fashioned, good old-fashioned mono, and it's sort of A1, B1, it's everything you could want from a UK press to Bring It All Back Home, except for, it's a little, especially it's on Gates of Eden, it's a little bit sort of scratchy, bit of too much crackle, but still, I just love this so much, especially because it's such a wonderful album, and it sounds so good on vinyl. I mean, I listened to the remaster, the remastered CD as well, but the vinyl version, it's a superior defo. Okay, what's my most expensive vinyl? I don't really pay a lot for vinyl, so it's not much I paid. Probably The Doors. My 1970s German reissue of The Doors' first album. I paid like 6-7 quid for it. That's, it's not an expensive vinyl, but I really don't pay much for vinyl. I mean, I don't have that much money. I tend to get car boots, very, very cheap and cheerful, my vinyl collection, so yeah, a bit disappointing there, I have to say. What is my most anticipated film of the year or next year, depending on when you answer this? Well, I'll answer, both my anticipated film this year and of next year. So this year has to be, well, I mean, there isn't much left of this year, but of this year, The Hobbit, Desolation and Smaug, the second film I have any interest in seeing this year, the first being Django Unchained, which was just mind-blowingly awesome. But yeah, I love The Hobbit one, big fan of The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings series. And then next year, the film that I'm the most apprehensive about is also the one I'm most looking forward to. It has to be Noah. I might say, Noah, really? Well, why Noah? Well, it's because of the director. Darren Aronofsky is my favourite director of all time. If you don't recognise the name, he's the person who directed Black Swan, The Wrestler, Requiem for a Dream, The Fountain, Pi. That's basically all his films. Or certainly, a big film. Also directed one of Metallica and Lou Reed's music videos. So there you go for Lulu, which everyone loves. Yeah, not his finest moment, but there you go. He's doing Noah, which is based on the Bible story of Noah, shockingly starring Russell Crowe as Noah, Emma Watson. I don't like Emma Watson. She just can't act. That's my main problem. Actresses should be able to act, but fortunately she lacks that ability, which is a bit of a shame for her career. So yeah, kind of apprehensive because Dan Aronofsky usually tells very sort of personal, very dark stories, and instead he's doing, well, what I've seen in the trailer, I mean, it looks like something maybe Peter Jackson or James Cameron, especially James Cameron, should have been doing instead, lots of special effects. Who knows? Yes. And what did I think of The Hobbit? Well, I loved it. Lord of the Rings, that series is my sort of favourite film group, whatever, of all time. And The Hobbit having Peter Jackson and everything, it was just amazing. It was everything I could have wanted. Okay, 7Man 9613. What's your opinion on Pantera, and do you like dogs? Just completely random question. There you go. Pantera, yeah, I think they're a great groove metal band. Cowboys from Hell, vulgar display of power. Great albums. I need to listen to Far Beyond the Driven, which I have as well. But yeah, I mean, Cowboys from Hell particularly wonderful groove metal sort of fresh album. Dogs though I hate. I genuinely, legitimately cannot stand dogs. I absolutely loathe them. Probably the dogs and spiders, least favourite creatures ever. Love cats. Have 3 cats in my house, and just got a kitten not that long ago. But dogs, no. I'm also quite scared of them, I have to say. I find dogs, even little ones, even those little fairy ones, they just creep me out. So there you go. He also asks, do you like fast food such as Burger King, KFC, and McDonald's? Okay, well, I'll go through these. McDonald's, I hate. I mean, their burgers taste like bloody cardboard. KFC, I don't really like fried chicken. Burger King, they're decent. I eat very rarely, but really, I don't like processed fast food, to be honest. It's not my cup of tea. The sort of type fast food thing I like the most is Domino's. I mean, they're not really that fast food. I'd more just call them a takeaway. But, Domino's are awesome. Love their pizzas. But fast food in general, no, not really my cup of tea. I like sort of, fresh stuff. I'm a bit fussy like that. And so, Theo7Man Hamer on Facebook, the only Facebook question. Do you like Testament? Well, I don't know that much Testament. I've been watching Cover Killer Nation's discography so far on Testament to try and see where to go next with Testament. As I only had Dark Roots of the Air, which I absolutely love. Definitely one of my favourite albums of 2012, even though it's not on my official list because, well, I discovered afterwards. But yeah, fantastic. Genuinely, it's becoming one of my favourite thrash albums of all time, Dark Roots of the F. I just think it's wonderful. Can't stop listening to it. Okay, Inconquerable. God, this guy, he's been around a long time. I've noticed him. I'm pretty sure he was the guy saying H-I-A-Y-A-R-Q or something like Hierarch or something like that from one of my first Q&As I remember. So this guy, he's been a while. So, and he says, firstly, congrats on, oh my god, where have the questions gone? Congrats on reaching 2 years, here's to many more. Thank you very much, and thank you for watching my content for a while. And his first question, have you ever watched Silence of the Lambs? If so, what are your thoughts on? Yeah, Silence of the Lambs, a true masterpiece. I mean, Anthony Hopkins, Jodie Foster, just both sublime acting performances. I love the ad-lib that Anthony Hopkins did on this, sort of the little sort of effects in his voice that he actually didn't do in rehearsal. Yeah, so it's very interesting, and the sort of the big scene where, well, he's in the sort of the prison sort of box, and they're talking about, the actual sort of, where the phrase the Silence of the Lambs comes from, and the lambs, being silent before being slaughtered and all that stuff. Yeah, I mean, that scene, that's just one of the greatest scenes in film history, truly just, and, I mean, that was meant to be done, multiple takes and stuff, but apparently they just kept the camera rolling because they were just, Jodie Foster and Anthony Hopkins, they were just, delivering such powerful and, performances. Yeah, definitely, in my top sort of, 20-odd films of all time, no doubt. What is your favourite Led Zeppelin album? I've recently got into Houses of the Holy, and I think it's become my favourite of the ones I've heard. Now, weirdly, I've never actually heard Houses of the Holy. You might say, what? Yeah, truly I haven't. I know I should. That's quite appalling, but, yeah, I actually haven't. But, yeah, my favourite Led Zeppelin album has to be 2. 2 is the only one that makes my top 100 albums of all time list, and, yeah, I mean, I just think that album, God, that album is good. 2 is pretty damn awesome. There just isn't a weak track on it, and I mean, everyone's going at it. I even love Moby Dick with John Bonham's epic epic drum solo, one of the best drum solos in a song, just full stop. That and Iron Butterflies, Inagata Davida drum solo, yeah, awesome. What is your favourite Guns N' Roses album cover? It would have to be the original Robert Williams painting of Appetite, well, of the painting Appetite for Destruction, which depicts, of course, a robot rapist about to be punished by a metal avenger. It's just awesome. It's a shame it was banned. And you could say it's pretty horrible in a way, because as it is a robot rapist having just raped some woman, which, isn't that nice? But I don't know, just that metal avenger, oh my god, that is one bitchin' badass metal avenger. So yeah, I love that album cover so much. I so want to get the LP version of that. I so want that album cover on my wall of album covers behind me. Okay, then he also asks, if there is one album review that you would like to go back and do over, which one would you pick and why? Well, there's many, to be honest. Many. Most of basically everyone I did in 2011, everyone practically in 2012, except for the odd few. A lot of early 2013. When I sort of look back on my old reviews, and this will happen, I bet in a year's time, I'll be looking back on the ones I do at the moment thinking absolute shit. But I really do. I'm extremely critical of myself. And they just don't come up to snuff some of my older stuff. I just don't like the camera quality, don't like how bowly and my hair was, it looks crap, and things like that. But the one particular I'd say that sticks in my mind, my review of The Sound of Madness by Shinedown, certainly one of my first 10 album reviews, and that was back when I had the little microphone and I was hunched over and looking all creepy and weird. And yeah, it's because that has about 1,500 views. It's one of my top 20 odd most viewed videos. A lot of dislikes. It's pretty badly done video, and yeah, I wish I'd done that better, because I love the album Sound of Madness. I really do. I still do. I think Shinedown Sound of Madness is a fantastic album. But yeah, I don't think my review really did it justice. And last one, I think, from Inconquerable. What do you think about Alter Bridge opening for Aerosmith for a show in Milan and going on before them at Download? Well, I think the Sunday of Download is definitely the best day. The Friday and Saturday suck. I mean, the Saturday, Linkin Park and Fall Out Boy, yeah. And the Friday, there's Rob Zombie, there's The Offspring, and Avenged Sevenfold. But yeah, the Sunday, Aerosmith, Alter Bridge. That's pretty damn cool, I have to say. That is pretty damn cool. I'd certainly like to see Aerosmith, I've never seen them. And yeah, Alter Bridge opening for them, that would be one heck of a show, I have to say. Okay, and I think this, I think that'll be my last one for this part. So stay tuned, part 2 will be coming out very soon. Of course, this has been TheAIbumMan. Thanks for watching, comment, subscribe, and as usual, long live rock and roll.